Hello and welcome everyone. I am Nicholas Hall and I'm the proud founder of Graham's Foundation. The past 7+ months have been an incredible challenge for all of us. We preemie parents know what isolation feels like. We already know what it's like to live in a bubble. Many of you know my story, creating Graham's Foundation in memory of my son, Graham, and the 119 days I spent in the NICU with my daughter, Reese, before finally bringing her home. I didn't know if we would ever escape that bubble. I am grateful for my family at Graham's Foundation and proud of our tireless work fighting for premature babies, just like my daughter, Reese. Tonight, we have the opportunity to recognize 3 individuals who are champions fighting for a brighter future for our preemies. We will also hear from our preemie parent community, inspiring us to keep up the good fight. And we have a few of what I'm officially coining screen door prizes. You get it? Computer screen door prize, screen door prizes. So stay tuned for that. And then we'll wrap up the evening with an opportunity to help Graham's Foundation fund our family support in 2021 and beyond. You know, Pampers has been an important partner of Graham's Foundation since 2011. We appreciate partnering with a world-class organization. After all, we are the company we keep. And that is why I'm thrilled that this year's Tinis for Preemies is powered by Pampers.
In the NICU, sleep is precious. Because restful, uninterrupted sleep means dreams of a developing brain learning to read, or healthy heart and lungs that could one day run as fast as his brother. Those dreams are why we created our most advanced preemie diaper ever, with up to 6 hours of absorbency for uninterrupted sleep. The Absorb Away liner pulls urine and runny stool away from skin. The ultra-absorbent core locks it in. The soft wrap around sides and deep dual-layered cuffs help prevent leaks. Thousands of micropores let air circulate through the diaper to help keep the baby's skin dry. The flexible contoured core, front-back umbilical notch, and all-over fastening with reattachable tabs enable healthy positioning. All while silky, soft, and smooth materials provide comfort to baby's delicate skin, so the smallest babies can stay peacefully asleep, which can fuel dreams of sleeping without tubes and wires. Dreams of dreaming at home. Pampers, proud to support NICU babies and nurses since 1971.
That's amazing. Every little bit counts. To share a few words from the Pampers team with us tonight is Laura Goodman. Laura?
Hello, everyone. I'm Laura. I am a principal scientist and I'm the director of scientific communications for Pampers North America. It is my great honor and absolute pleasure to join you this evening for this very important and inspiring event. Pampers is dedicated to every baby's happy, healthy development. And for the last 9 years, Pampers has been a proud sponsor of Graham's Foundation, as we fully support their mission to comfort, support, inform, and guide families who experience a premature birth. Pampers collaborates with healthcare professionals and associations across the globe, and we can provide resources like scholarships and continuing education to support the professional development of NICU nurses and medical staff. But we also work with them to design products, services, and programs specifically designed for preemies and all of those who care for them. So the video that just played highlighted something we are extremely excited about, and that is our innovation on Pampers Preemie Swaddlers. As many of you know, for a preemie baby, every minute of sleep is critical to their development. So the new Pampers Preemie Swaddlers were designed in collaboration with 200 NICU nurses, neonatologists, neonatal physical therapists, and other medical experts to provide new features and new benefits that help minimize disruptions, which allows for uninterrupted sleep. So the diapers are designed to support up to 6 hours of absorbency. And as you saw in the video, they have a contour core, and that's to support proper hip and joint development. They have a silky soft feel, which is very gentle on the fragile skin of preemies. And we're really excited about the reversible design. Also, those completely detachable and reattachable tabs. And that allows the nurses to go around lines and tubes. And it also allows the diaper to be changed in any position, even when the baby is positioned on the parent. So the new Pampers Preemie Swaddlers are actually shipping now. They are in many hospitals already, and nurses and parents are loving them. And we are just thrilled that we can bring new innovation this year to support preemie sleep, health, and their development. And we're also excited to continue to work alongside Graham's Foundation to support the amazing programs and services that they provide. Since 2011, Pampers has supported Graham's Foundation in the NICU Care Package program. And in fact, it was the initiation of that Care Package program, which is where our partnership began. So throughout the years, we have renewed our commitment to that program. And we've also partnered on lots of social media campaigns to drive awareness and also to celebrate days that are particularly meaningful for the prematurity community. Pampers has also sponsored the development and the evolution of Graham's Foundation My Preemie app. And most recently, we are excited that a grant from Pampers is helping to support the Connect program within the Graham's Foundation Preemie Parent Mentor Program. Now, Pampers is extremely grateful for the partnership that we have with Graham's Foundation and for the opportunity to support the well-being of preterm babies and all of their families. So thank you so much for the opportunity to be with you here tonight. Please enjoy the amazing program that is ahead of us this evening.
Thank you, Laura, and please pass along my thank you and our team's thank yous to the entire team at Pampers. I really appreciate your support. Now, I wish that we could all be in the same room this evening, spreading love and sharing hugs. I am a hugger and I miss hugging. But our virtual setting does enable us to include many that wouldn't be able to join us otherwise. So we have a couple of poll questions that help us get a chance to better understand who is in our virtual ballroom tonight. So first, how would you describe your relationship to Graham's Foundation? You're a preemie parent, kind of a family friend, supporter, healthcare professional, corporate partner. You wouldn't mind taking a moment there? Let's see, are we gonna have any luck getting that up on the screen? I know we're having a little bit of, there we go. All right, fantastic. I love that. Love to see. So, one of the challenges of having our events in person is that it's challenging for preemie parents to be able to attend. We understand, even with all the efforts we make to try and make it as easy as possible. So it's fantastic that so many preemie parents are able to join us here tonight. So one more question, and I saw a few of you jumping. You guys jumped all over this question. Where are you joining us from this evening? I took a little drive myself this evening, so I get to change my answer for tonight. You're having some funk. All right, so let's hear it for the Northeast. So our traditional New Yorkers, our Northeast traditional teenies. It's great to see you guys out in full representation. It's awesome to see so many. And I did notice from Australia, so Oceania showing up. Awesome, fantastic. Well, wherever and however you got here, I'm thrilled that you're here with us tonight. For those of you just learning about Graham's Foundation, as Laura shared, our mission is to support, comfort, inform, and guide families who experience a premature birth. And our vision, since I founded Graham's Foundation, has been a world where no parent goes through the experience of prematurity alone. At Graham's Foundation, we created support services that are designed for the unique circumstances that preemie parents face. We understand that preemie parents need to be flexible, and we offer that same flexibility. Whether it is the care packages that we provide for parents in the NICU as they transition or experience a loss, or our mobile app that helps parents track their baby's journey as well as their progress, or the more than 36 mentors, and of course, our vibrant and engaged online community. We recognize that individuals seek out different types of support based on how they learn and how they cope and where they are on their journey. So our support services are multifaceted and designed with those needs in mind. And we could not accomplish any of this without our amazing, positive, can-do team. Too fast, get them back up there. We don't want to, an amazing, amazing team. You see many of them, of course, all of them participating tonight, as well as our dynamic, diverse, and passionately committed board of directors. And as I mentioned before, we also have our volunteer mentors, preemie moms, preemie dads, grandparents, medical professionals with a wide range of backgrounds and experiences. And of course, our donors, our supporters, and our sponsors. And we keep fighting for our preemies because of the encouragement we receive from preemie parents. So now I'm going to turn it over to honor this year's Hope, Resilience, and Miracle awardees. Our MC for the awards is our effervescent board member, Maureen Boone-Clark. Marie, take it away.
Thank you, Nick. It's a pleasure to be here and to honor these amazing clinicians. I'm reminded of a quote that's attributed to the philosopher Aristotle: where the needs of the world and your talents cross, there lies your vocation. Well, one vocation that garners my respect is medicine, and specifically those who work to save the lives of the smallest and most fragile among us. The heart and skill that it takes to take care of such tiny patients is simply incredible. So it's lovely to take a pause and recognize just a few of these miracle workers for their accomplishments. So we're excited to have 3 awardees, as Nick mentioned, each representing 3 areas of the premature journey. Hope, because as parents of preemies, you hold fast to hope when supporting your baby fight to survive. Resilience, because your little one shows amazing resilience as they take on the challenges of prematurity. And last but not least, miracles, because every baby is a reminder of the miracle of life. But first, a huge thank you to MEDMAX Health Solutions and their team of thousands of clinicians who give hope to parents every day. Thank you for the impact that you make in the lives of millions, and thank you for your sponsorship of the Hope Award. So a teeny bit about our Hope honoree. If you're like me, your childhood desire was to become a doctor, or at minimum, you envisioned growing up and being someone who created magnificent innovations that changed lives. Few of us actually live out our childhood aspirations, but Dr. Jens Christian Schwendt is the exception. Dr. Schwendt has not only achieved great success as a physician and researcher, but he's also introduced remarkable innovations in the care of the neonate. Dr. Schwendt is a specialist in pediatrics and former neonatology consultant at the Medical University Vienna. After studying medicine in Germany and Austria, Dr. Schwendt turned his focus to identifying ways to optimize the performance of medical teams to improve patient safety. He founded the Center for Pediatric Simulation and Patient Safety at the University Children's Hospital of Vienna. He's also credited with establishing the European Resuscitation Council in Austria. Dr. Schwendt has implemented a myriad of training protocols to address the needs of the smallest patients. But currently, he devotes his full-time energy to the organization he founded. An experienced neonatologist, Dr. Schwendt created Sim Characters, a Vienna-based company that develops leading innovations in clinical simulation for the preemie infant. He recognized that modern medicine, while amazing, is also extremely complex. So complex, in fact, that healthcare professionals face new, challenging situations every day, hence the importance of simulation training. Now, you might ask, what exactly is simulation and why is the practice so critical to patient safety? Simulation training provides an opportunity for clinicians to apply theory and gain experience in skills to procedures that would otherwise be difficult to practice without potentially harming patients. Dr. Schwendt's group leverages innovation and technology to provide pediatric and neonatal resuscitation, as well as simulation training to hospital staff. They do this in all German-speaking countries, but there are many clinicians and researchers throughout the world who learned from Dr. Schwendt's groundbreaking work. Regrettably, Dr. Schwendt was not able to join us, but he sent this video message.
Hello from Vienna. You can't imagine how surprised I was to get a message from Nick a few months ago, and how delighted, because I know what great work Nick and his team do with you parents here in the US. So many thanks for this incredible award, especially because it comes from such a fantastic organization as Graham's Foundation, an organization representing so many parents of premature babies. For more than 15 years, my entire professional life has been dedicated to neonatology, simulation training and patient safety. And it is for this reason that I feel especially honored by this recognition. But while I'm delighted to accept this award, I do it on behalf of my entire team. Without their tireless work, our achievements wouldn't have been possible. My team at Sim Characters is a group of outstanding individuals, NICU nurses and doctors, engineers, software and hardware designers, as well as experts in animatronics and special effects design. Everyone at Sim Characters pursues the same goal: to develop great patient simulators to enable medical teams to practice dealing with critical situations in neonatology under highly realistic conditions. Realistic team training is the key to increasing the chances of survival of these extremely vulnerable patients, and also so important to allowing these children to live healthy lives with and within their families. NICU nurses, RTs, doctors and all healthcare providers get up every morning to do their best for their patients. Healthcare providers therefore want to practice critical situations because they feel deeply committed to their patients and simply want to be good at what they do. But we need to give these special people the opportunity to train. In many countries around the world, however, medical simulation training is not yet mandatory and not legally regulated like it is, for example, for flight crews in the aviation industry. This is why we need you parents and organizations like Graham's Foundation as allies. Your untiring work to improve the quality of care of preterm babies is the key to legislative change in this area. Our work at Sim Characters goes on. We will continue doing everything we can to improve the safety of patients and also the safety of healthcare professionals. I'm sure that the Graham's Foundation and you parents will also continue the great work you all do. Together, we can provide premature babies with even better care and support. Thank you again for this wonderful award.
Well, clearly, Dr. Schwendt has an immense passion for patient safety, and he and his team work tirelessly every day to improve the care of critically ill newborns. Our next honoree also has a strong commitment to the care and development of critically ill infants. Our Resilience honoree is Sue Ludwig. Sue is a registered occupational therapist and the founder and president of the National Association of Neonatal Therapists, also known as NANT. NANT is an organization that serves neonatal, occupational, and physical therapists, as well as speech-language pathologists. In short, NANT self-describes as an organization of passionate neonatal therapists who work tirelessly to improve neurodevelopmental outcomes for premature and sick infants. But a bit about Sue's background. Sue is a certified neonatal therapist, and she's practiced at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center for over 20 years. She is highly recognized for her work. Sue received the Laura Edmonds Lectureship Award from the University of Massachusetts Memorial Medical Center. She also received the Individual Contribution to Maternal and Child Health Award from the National Perinatal Association. Sue is a media expert in neonatal therapy for the American Occupational Therapy Association. She's a sought-after speaker, consultant, writer, and educator. Obviously, Sue has done a phenomenal job of elevating the significance of the role therapists play in the NICU. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Sue Ludwig.
Hi, everybody. It's so happy to see all of your faces. And thank you so much to Graham's Foundation for this incredible honor. What a privilege to be included among the other two honorees tonight. So thank you so very much. And like Marie said, neonatal therapists are a group that a lot of people don't know much about, but we are dedicated to improving developmental outcomes for babies who are in the NICU, both while they're in the NICU and beyond. And we're passionate about improving the quality of life for babies who begin their lives there, and especially by connecting them with their parents, because parents are the most powerful developmental tool that we have for outcomes and improving outcomes. And so much of our work is really about empowering and connecting parents. And it's one of the reasons that Graham's Foundation is so important. Having the ability to support parents at that level and giving you confidence and the resources to do it well is so important to your baby's future. But I wanted to share something else besides my NANT journey. So beyond spending my clinical career as a neonatal occupational therapist and then serving the incredible therapists that I get to serve through NANT, there are 4 personal reasons that I feel connected to and want to support organizations like Graham's Foundation. And that is that 3 of my nieces and nephews, and now 1 of my great nephews, so that makes me feel really old, but I now have a great nephew, were born prematurely. And while 3 of them are thriving, so 2 are now adults and 1 of them is under a year still, that great nephew, 1 of them also never made it to the NICU and didn't survive a diaphragmatic hernia. And, you know, I've watched my siblings be, you know, on that roller coaster journey of what that experience was, both in the NICU and then for all of these years since. So just fully understanding that your struggles don't end at the doors of the NICU. And I think as therapists, we see that in seeing babies outside of the NICU for years as well. But I just want to thank Graham's and everything that you are bringing to the table for parents, because that is what you're doing tonight and in support of babies and families is invaluable for that, what becomes a very long journey, almost no matter what the outcome is. You know, the parents feel it for a lifetime. And so I just want to thank all of you and the parents that are here tonight. I just want to thank you and everyone that's here for making a huge difference, because what we can do as healthcare providers has its limitations. And we need parents to step in and be the primary best caretaker of their babies. And that's really when things get magical. So thank you for all that you do. And thank you for Graham's for inviting me tonight and to be part of this special event. And I'm just so very grateful. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sue. And thank you for such a moving testimony. And thank you for all that you're doing in your professional career. A very special thank you to the amazing team at Angel Eye for your wonderful partnership with Graham's Foundation and for your support of the Resilience Award. So now, while I control my hands, if you guys have not noticed how hard this is to not move them about, I'd love to acknowledge our Miracle Award honoree and also to thank our sponsor. A huge thank you to Mead Johnson and the Infamil brand for their generous support. We are immensely grateful. So, I am excited to introduce this next honoree. As someone who's worked with physicians and nurses, particularly in pediatrics and neonatal care, I have an immense respect for their hard work and dedication. I know I repeat myself, but even I was humbled when I met our next honoree. She is a physician who has not only excelled as a clinician and researcher, but she's also dedicated her career to advocating for health equity and inclusion. You've likely seen news accounts of how bias and health inequalities can directly affect a patient's health outcomes, at times with unimaginable consequences. I am immensely grateful to the energy and commitment that Dr. Valencia Walker has devoted to mitigating the impact of implicit bias in healthcare. Dr. Walker, a trained neonatologist, currently serves as the Associate Chief of Diversity and Health Equity for Nationwide Children's Hospital in Columbus, Ohio. She also serves as the Associate Division Chief of Neonatology for Health Equity and Inclusion within the Department of Pediatrics at Ohio State University College of Medicine. Prior to this role, Dr. Walker was Assistant Dean of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion for the David Geffen School of Medicine at UCLA. In addition, she was a Health Sciences Associate Clinical Professor in the Department of Pediatrics Division of Neonatology at the same facility. Dr. Walker graduated magna cum laude from Florida A&M University and received her medical degree from Emory University School of Medicine. She finished a pediatric residency at the Memphis campus at the University of Tennessee and completed a fellowship in neonatology at Cincinnati Children's Hospital Medical Center. Recently, Dr. Walker earned a master's in public health policy from the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health. Dr. Walker has garnered a national reputation for her efforts to address the challenges of bias in healthcare. Her work has led to a variety of leadership roles in this space, and it's with great pleasure that I introduce Dr. Valencia Walker.
Good evening, everyone. So I knew that I would be speechless, and yes, I'm speechless. First, I want to thank the Graham's Foundation. I want to thank Marie for nominating me for this incredible honor. I also want to thank Nick Hall, one, for his dedication to this foundation, and two, for just in talking with him in the way that he really embraced the idea of not just making this about an award, but really about the work and really about our parents. I remember I'm someone who's always loved being a neonatologist. I feel like my role on this earth is to convince you to become a neonatologist. What can be better than having little adorable patients with cute, tiny little pink toes? I just can't imagine a better way to wake up and spend every day of your life. But then I had the experience of coming to an event similar to this one and really hearing parent stories and really seeing the other side. And I sat there with tears pouring down my face because for all the wonderful things that I could do as a doctor, there were still so many other hurdles and bridges that I could not cross for the families that were in the NICU. And I think that has always been a guiding motivation for me as to why it's not just about choosing the right medication or setting the right ventilator setting, but remembering the responsibility that we hold in our hands. There is a quote from Nelson Mandela, and it says, "There's no keener sense for the soul of a society than the way it treats its children, its most vulnerable." And I think that is the charge that we have to take with each and every one of us. So I love the hope and the wonderful ideas that we can do with simulation to make ourselves more skilled and and make ourselves better. I love the resilience. There is nothing quite as amazing as watching a baby go through physical therapy and knowing how it's making a difference on how well they're going to perform and function later in life. If you haven't figured it out, we are a team, and there's so much that we are greater at when we do it together. And part of that team, an essential core, are the loving parents that make it happen. And so, of course, that's the moment where I stop and thank my own parents for everything that they poured into me, all the ways that they supported me, all the ways that my family supported me. And I'm so happy to have so many of my friends on this call tonight who have believed in me and believed in this work. But I want you to think about that hope, that resilience, and think about how and why we can continue to make miracles. As been mentioned, there are disparities that still exist. For all the protection that we put into our unit and our incubators and our medications, there's still the struggles in our society and our world that we can't completely protect our babies and our families from. And that's a part of the work that we're going to go forward with, knowing that our work doesn't stop with the right medication, with the right ventilator setting, but it starts with making sure that our patients and our families are whole. So thank you for the work you do. Thank you for the inspiration you give. And thank you so much for honoring me tonight and encouraging all of us to be better. Our children are our hopes and our dreams. And this is why we do what we do. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Walker. And thank you for your unwavering belief in a better tomorrow. I recall a statement that you wrote in an editorial. Quote, "Our collective compassion is critical to conquering the anger, hate, and indifference that permeate throughout our day-to-day experiences." That is so powerful, and I think we'll leave it there. If we were meeting live, I would ask you in joining me in giving all of our honorees a standing ovation, but alas, a virtual acknowledgement will have to do. So thank you. Each honoree will receive beautiful original artwork created by 3 amazing former preemies. Dr. Schwent will receive a painting by Abby, who was born at 24 weeks, weighing just 1 pound and 5 ounces. Abby is now an amazing artist, obviously, at just 14 years old. Sue Ludwig will receive a painting by the talented 7-year-old Hannah, who was born at 24 weeks and 2 days. And Dr. Walker will receive artwork from twins, Thomas and Colin. Now 8 years old, Thomas is described as thoughtful and adventurous, and Colin as funny and witty. Colin and Thomas were born at 24 weeks and 6 days, weighing about 1.5 pounds each. Thank you to our artists for your submissions, and congratulations to our honorees. It's now my pleasure to introduce the director of our Preemie Parent Mentor Program and Preemie Mom, Megan Snyder. Megan?
Thank you, Marie. At Graham's Foundation, at the heart of everything we do is our preemie parents. Supporting them and sharing their stories is the one way that we can help new preemie parents have hope for their journey. So over the next few minutes, we're going to meet some preemie parents and hear some of their amazing stories. With that, I'd like to introduce you to our first family, Christina, who will tell you about her prematurity journey with her son, Flynn. Welcome, Christina.
Thanks, Megan. Oh, seeing his face coming. If you told me 10 or even 5 years ago, maybe even yesterday, that I would be speaking publicly willingly, I wouldn't have believed you. I was never the type of person to speak up or speak out until my son was born. But when you have to become the voice for the voiceless, it's amazing what else you're capable of, or what you were capable of doing all along. You just didn't have the fire burning inside. So our son Flynn was born in February 2017. He was perfect beyond measure, and my heart grew fuller than I ever thought possible. But with great love came great fear. Flynn was born 12 weeks early, weighing just over 2 pounds and a little more than a foot long. Sorry. No matter how many times you practice, sometimes it just gets you, right? So in his 7-week NICU stay, I felt every possible emotion, from helplessness seeing his tiny body struggling to breathe, to pride over each gram gained or wet diaper changed, to overwhelm as we tried to figure out how we would ever be able to care for our baby on our own without doctors or nurses per se, and everything in between. We heard endless medical jargon, abbreviations from A to Z, and we learned how to read data and operate each machine keeping our son alive. As a first-time mom, I was in over my head, and I still admittedly am a lot of the time as we encounter firsts and new pathways. I was drowning, anxious, secluded from other new peer parents, and too buried in my own grief or anxiety to even ask for help. Somewhere along the way, I found the light and I somehow became okay over time, which made me very lucky. In my new role as preemie mom, with my binders of research and my books in hand, I stumbled upon Graham's Foundation. And I wondered, where were they in my doctor's hours? This was exactly what I would have needed. Parents like me, people like me who made it to the other side alive. And since then, I've been trying to bring awareness to Graham's Foundation in my area and spreading their mission. I interviewed for our local hospital's inaugural NICU advisory board, and I was so blessed to have received a place at that table. And we together use our experiences as parents to change the lives of future NICU families like us. And part of my platform has been bringing awareness to resources like Graham's Foundation to the parents of our tiniest babies. And when the time felt right, I filled out an application to become a preemie parent mentor. This community has helped me heal myself and build our relationships, helping mend the hearts of others. And I knew I could be for someone else, even though you wouldn't know it now. What I needed most in the world during our NICU days and beyond, a friend who gets what it's like to love someone with your whole heart through pain and bless. Thank you. And I'm sorry.
Thank you so much, Christina. I know as a preemie mum myself, it doesn't matter how many times you tell your story, it doesn't necessarily get easier. That emotion is always there.
And the pictures.
The pictures, yes. So don't forget that tonight, during our, and don't forget that you can help support families like Christina's tonight with your gift during our Fund a Family portion of the evening. Your gift makes a huge difference in the lives of these families. Now let's hear from another amazing family, Nicole and her daughter, Alana. Welcome, Nicole.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much, Christina, for sharing your story. It's so touching to hear other stories. So our journey started off early and very scary. At just 16 weeks gestation, I was told to terminate and that there was no hope for Alana. I had very little amniotic fluid, but I refused to give up and got ready for a very bumpy journey. After 2 months of full bed rest, Alana made her appearance at 27 weeks, 4 days, weighing 2 pounds, 4 ounces, April 1st, 2019, April Fool's Day. So of course, everyone thought we were joking. Her lungs were severely underdeveloped due to the lack of fluid. She had a chest tube placed within the first 12 hours of her life and 2 more to follow. She spent time on just about every ventilator, from the jet to the oscillator, which was grown to be her favorite. After 3 weeks in the NICU, Alana took a turn for the worse and was put on 3 sedatives, 3 antibiotics, nitric gas, and 100% oxygen. The doctors didn't know if she would make it through the night, one of the roughest nights of our lives. But Alana pulled through, and she continued to fight and grow. 5 days before discharge, the doctor said there was no way we couldn't go home without oxygen. But her brother, at 12 years old, asked the nurse just to take her off one last time. That one last time was her very last time. She decided she never needed that oxygen again. I'm sorry. She was discharged after 68 days in the NICU without the oxygen. She's now 19 months old, meeting all of her milestones, beating all the odds, despite all those that doubted her. She is truly my NICU warrior. During our NICU journey, I found Graham's Foundation on just doing a Google search because I felt lost and alone. As Christina mentioned, it's hard. You're alone and isolated. Graham's Foundation was my outlet. It was a way for me to connect. I started talking with Nicole and I began to share my story. I found my voice. I found a place to grow, and I found a place that I could help others grow and hear their voice. Since our discharge, I've been involved with Graham's by continuing to share my story and becoming a mentor and meeting other moms struggling with similar experiences. I can never thank Graham's enough for helping us through our journey and continue spreading hope for all of the families like ours. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole, for sharing Alana's story and for letting us see her tonight. That was amazing. Now let's hear from another Graham's Foundation team member, social media wizard, and preemie mum herself, another person named Nicole Bunyard-Doyle. Welcome, Nicole.
Thank you so much, Megan. Those are such great stories. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Christina. And now I have the pleasure to introduce you to another amazing and resilient family who had a micro-preemie, Gino, Jennifer, and their daughter, Astrid.
Who's that? Hello. Our journey begins in October 2018. Jennifer and I, my fiance, tried numerous attempts to get pregnant with no luck. But miraculously, in the summertime, we did succeed. But in October of 18, we lost the baby, and Jennifer was, needless to say, devastated. We kept trying after that. Numerous months of treatment and IVF, we were pregnant again. We were very hesitant to tell anyone this time because of what had happened. Up until week 22, Jennifer's pregnancy was normal, but she started feeling bad and her blood pressure was elevated. She went in for tests and everything came back normal. Say hello. On May 2nd, Jen went to get her blood work done because her headaches got worse, and I was leaving town for my oldest daughter's graduation. The next day they called and told Jen, pack a bag and get to the hospital. At 23 weeks and 5 days, Jennifer was told she was in help. Her liver platelet counts were critical and she had to deliver that day. Jennifer was home alone. She describes that day as a whirlwind of doctors and labs and medications. She was given a steroid shot for the baby's lungs and started on magnesium, which made her feel awful. The NICU came in and told her the baby had a 10% chance of survival, and which she would need to make decisions because they were going to deliver that day. On May 3rd at 9 p.m., Astrid was born via C-section. She was 10 inches long and an astonishing 14.8 ounces. She came out breathing and was placed on CPAP, but needed to be intubated minutes later. She stayed below 28% on the ventilator for weeks. At week 5, she became sick with pneumonia and MSSA and was maxed at 100% on the ventilator. And one evening when I was at the hospital visiting her, she had a mucus plug in her breathing tube and had to be extubated and re-intubated. The team of doctors that was there saved her life. The next day we went in and the doctor sat down and had to talk with us. They said they didn't think she was going to make it much longer and didn't recommend trying to work on her if that had happened again. On June 13th, we asked for a consultation at our local children's hospital NICU. They decided to add nitric oxide and a round of DART steroids. Astrid was placed in a medical coma, and at every position they put her in, one of her lungs would collapse. We felt helpless. At 14 days later, Astrid was extubated to NIPPV. The whole team was in shock as they didn't think she was going to make it. The roller coaster continued. At 34 weeks, she was diagnosed with stage 5 ROP and was scheduled for laser surgery and injections. At 131 days in the NICU, 42 weeks gestation, Asher was discharged, weighing 5 pounds and on a quarter liter of oxygen. She stayed on oxygen for 11 months. Home life has been busy. Asher has had multiple appointments and diagnoses and tests monthly. But so far, she is a bubbly, happy little girl. Graham's Foundation helped us learn what all the language was in the NICU and to seek other families going through similar NICU stays. The My Preemie app helped us to keep track of weight and milestones. We are connected online and they share in our small victories. Thank you all, everyone.
Thank you, Gino.
Thank you so much, Gino. Jennifer could not be on tonight, and we appreciate you sharing your family story.
Hi.
It's made such a huge impact on our team. We actually got to know this family because of a Facebook fundraiser Gino hosted that has raised more money than any other fundraiser on our social media page to date. It's just astounding. So we cherish every good support we get, and it makes a huge impact on the families that we help. Thank you so much again, Astrid, Jennifer, and Gino.
We appreciate it. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to help out in any way we can.
Thank you
so much. Okay. And we have one more family to introduce you to, and it's mine. My twin boys, Thomas and Colin, were born at 24 weeks, 6 days by emergency C-section due to a ruptured placenta at UCLA Santa Monica. It was a long road being on ventilators, PDA surgery, hernia surgery for one, stage 3 brain bleed for another. It was after 600, I'm sorry, not 600, that is way too many. After 162 days in the NICU, Colin came home, followed by Thomas at 165. During our time in the NICU, we got to say thank you to the nurses and the aides, but not so much to the doctors. Oh, excuse me, tonight is my opportunity to change that. When you may recall when Marie introduced our Miracles honoree, Dr. Walker, it was mentioned she had practiced at UCLA. Dr. Walker, you were there during my emergency C-section and you saved Thomas's life. Wow. You were a positive force in the NICU every day. Thank you so much for all that you did for Thomas and Colin. You are our miracle and our sons are thriving 8-year-olds because of you and the NICU at UCLA. Thank you so much. Not sure if she's there, but hopefully she heard it.
So Marie warned me that there was something that was going to happen. And I was like, is it going to make me cry? And she was like, yeah.
Made me cry.
And we talked so many times. They were so little and so sick. And oh my gosh, that one day, I haven't seen them since they were babies.
All right, Thomas, what do you say to Dr. Walker? Come here.
Thank you, Doc.
No, right here.
Thank you, Dr. Walker. We got haircuts today.
Special haircuts for you today.
So when they...
You want the most company?
No. Go.
When parents talk about having to sit down and have the talk, I had to have the talk with them about how sick they were and how worried I was. But I had promised you that I would do everything that I could.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. I don't, just thank you.
It was, well, thank you. I mean, honestly.
Second for it to click, and then I was like,
I didn't even know. It just sort of happened, and I was like, I know her. So thank you so much. And also, you probably guessed by now, the artwork you received is from Thomas and Colin. So you have that, and like I said, there's never enough thank yous. We could say thank you for hours right now, and I think everyone would get really bored. But I would just keep saying thank you and thank you and thank you. And to all the other amazing, I'm sure there's plenty of medical professionals on this event right now. And really what you do is just, can't say enough of thank you. So, and Dr. Walker, don't worry, I'm going to stalk you later just to talk to you personally. But I think with that, I need to turn it back over to Nicholas, who's I think waiting. But
Thank you. Thanks, Nicole.
That was really a miracle. I am beyond words and gratitude, and this was amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. Ah, it's hard to believe my twins were born on Thanksgiving Day, 2006. It's like 14 years, and parents, you never forget. But I'm also incredibly inspired by the stories and the awardees for all the hard, tireless work, and it's inspiring to me to see the impact that Graham's life has had. So this is when I was supposed to be cool and collective to propose a toast. So I'm gonna do that now. And normally I would have my Graham's Foundation martini, but I'm gonna save that to have it made professionally. So I just have a nice little neat Tito's martini tonight. But I want to propose a toast to the staff at Graham's, to our board, to the volunteers for your tireless efforts, for continuing to go above and beyond for this community, and to tonight's awardees for all of your efforts on behalf of preemie parents everywhere. Say thank you. And a big thank you. I am in Texas tonight, so a big thank you to Tito's for your continued support of Graham's Foundation. In fact, all of your donations during our Fund a Family program coming up here in a few minutes are going to be automatically doubled thanks to Tito's. So now it is time for me to pick out winners of the exciting screen door prizes. So no need to be present to win, of course. We know you're all here. So the first screen door prize is a Canvas Pop gift certificate. So that artwork that you saw earlier, we take that artwork graphically and we print it on through a company I've had a long relationship with, Canvas Pop. So those are going to be beautiful museum quality prints, and it's a gift certificate for Ellie Cushing. Ellie Cushing is the winner of the Canvas Pop $250 gift certificate. So congratulations, Ellie, for that. Now, next, the Kendra Scott Jewelry. And I know our Director of Development, Heather, is extremely jealous of whoever wins this. I know, sorry, Heather, you're not eligible to win as a Graham's Foundation team member. I'm so sorry about that. The winner of the Kendra Scott Jewelry is Lisa Schneider. Lisa Schneider is the winner of the Kendra Scott Jewelry. So congratulations, Lisa. We'll get that around your neck momentarily. And we have one more screen door prize, and that is a cookie box from One Tough Mama. And as you probably guessed it, that is a Jasmine, a preemie parent in Southern California. So you're gonna get some homemade cookies, whoever the lucky winner is. Let's see, and the lucky winner is Amy Helped. Amy Helped is the lucky winner of the One Tough Mama cookie box. So congratulations to the raffle screen door prize winners. Okay, so now we're going to move on to our Fund a Family portion of the program. As you probably all know, Graham's Foundation provides support to any and all families coping with premature birth, regardless of socioeconomic status. We know that prematurity can impact anyone, and we are able to provide our support services free of charge because of supporters just like you. Now, it costs us on average about $100 per year to support a family. So this is normally the time of the evening for those of you that have been with me in New York. This is the time where I walk around the room and I ask you to hold up your bidder. You would normally have your Tinis for Preemies program, and you'd have a bidder number on the back. But since we're virtual tonight, I'm not able to walk around the room and hassle you and pressure you, so I have to do that virtually. So I am virtually walking around the virtual room, and what I'm asking everyone is to visit the chat room, and if you are willing to support a family or families, I'm going to ask you to put your first name and your last name in the chat and the number of families that you are that you're willing to support tonight. Sorry about that. And so again, if you're willing to support, Zena Ugrinsky, Zena, thank you. 5 families. Krista, thank you. Friends and families of Dr. Walker, 5 families, thank you. Emma, beautiful, 5 families. Ingrid, Angel Eye, thank you. What we're gonna do is, thank you. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that support. Megan, thank you, 1 family. Julie, thank you, 5 families. Dr. Walker, matching her family support. Beautiful, thank you. Noredia, thank you, 5 families. I love this trend. Madison, thank you. Aaron, 2 families. Wow, this is fantastic. You have no idea what this means to us, to our team. Sean Smith, 2 families. Thank you. That's beautiful. Thanks, Mom and Dad, 5 families. Thank you. Jacqueline, awesome. And Kingston, 5 families. Oh, wow. Is it Alicia? Alicia, sorry. Alicia, 2 families. Fantastic. That's beautiful. Wow. I'm blown away. Kristen, thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for your support. Thank you, Jay. Thank you so much. Laura. Oh, Laura, thank you. And Sue, thank you. Wow. To think that 10 years ago is when I started putting together care packages in my basement of whatever I could get companies to donate. I was a little bit embarrassed, but I knew that something was better than nothing. And to hear from families sharing about the My Preemie app and the mentor program and our care packages, if you could see them, they are the most beautiful packages. Many of you got the gift bags for, that. Thank you, Don, and thank you to the CrossCom team. CrossCom team is integral to all the innovations and improvements that we're continue to make with the My Preemie app. Thank you, Don. Thank you to the CrossCom team. That's really beautiful. Thank you to the Rand family. Thanks, Christopher. Thank you so much. I don't know who started the trend of 5 families, but I like it. I like it a lot. It's really humbling. Thank you. Thanks, Carmita. Thank you. Okay. Heather is telling me that we were having a little bit of an issue. I think with our link is we have some different options. I know for ways that folks can can pay for your commitment. We have a link, but I think perhaps feel free, Heather, to jump on if you want to help clarify. I'm not exactly sure if it's continuing. It is if it's working. Thank you, Daphne. Thank you so much. Yeah, so you see the options there. We have a link if it's working. That would give you the ability to actually, there we go. So that link there, thank you, Emily. That link there would give you the ability just tonight to check out and be able to just fill it out with the number of families that you committed to and pay tonight. The other option is we can follow up with you if you've registered. We have your contact information and we can send you an invoice directly. And if all else fails, if you weren't comfortable sharing on the chat, or you wanted to do something different or in addition, you can certainly email our development director, Heather. You can email her directly as well. So, well, thank you. I wish I had my calculator, but I know it's going to be an amazing number of families, and we got to hear tonight from families that Graham's Foundation, from just a few of the thousands of families that Graham's Foundation has been able to impact since our founding just over 10 years ago. It gets me every single time. And thank you, because that is the fuel. We don't do this for the pay. We don't do it for the rewards. We do it because we know the impact. This is the opportunity for us to give back. Of all the support I got while I was in the NICU, and we had wonderful neonatologists and wonderful nurses, so many that I was thankful for. But it was a parent that I had the opportunity to talk to directly when I knew that we were going to have to say goodbye to Graham. That made the difference, made the biggest difference for me. So thank you for supporting us and for continuing to fund our good work. And with that, to help us wrap up our very first virtual Tinis for Preemies, I am going to turn it over to our board chairwoman, Zena Ugrinsky. Zena?
Thank you, Nick. What an amazing and inspirational evening it's been. It reminds me of our time in the Preemie with my granddaughter, which stays with me, and we were one of the luckiest families there, and that's what drove me to participate, to as a board member, and just keep participating in Graham's Foundation. I'd like to especially thank the honorees and the special families that we met tonight. Thank you to our sponsors who partner with us every year and graciously and generously make what we do a reality, as you all have tonight with your funding of families. Big shout out also to the Graham's Foundation team and the board for first of all, for the hard work to make this happen, and the board's commitment to this important cause. We're so grateful for your contributions, for your network, and the impact that you've had over the last few years, really in helping us serve more and more families. Mostly thank you to all of you for attending our first Tinis for Preemies virtual event. When COVID hit earlier this year, we thought we'd have to cancel the in-person event, which obviously we did. And while we miss seeing you all in person, I am so proud of the broader team who worked so hard to convert this event to virtual. We're thrilled and grateful for the hard work that they did to get the event online. And it's exceeded our expectations. So thank you, Graham's Foundation team. As you know, babies come regardless of whether we're in a pandemic or not. So we've been incredibly fortunate not to have missed a beat during this time of COVID. The generous donations from this evening will be used to directly support preemie families that request help, whether it's a care package, a remembrance package, a free download of the My Preemie app, access to an online community, mentoring support in stressful situations. These are the things that Graham's Foundation brings that we all work so hard to bring to families that need that support. So please know how grateful we are for everyone here and for the extended community on the various social platforms that are incredibly interactive and just active in general. I wish everyone a wonderful evening, a happy Thanksgiving, and happy holidays. Thank you again, and good night.